Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Are you Josh Jarvis?
Yes, I am.
Good morning. This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse, and you've got a landlord-tenant case. It's entitled Whispering Pines Mobile Home Park versus Joshua Jarvis. Also with us on the live feed is Mr. Timothy Reed, who represents the park. Your manager, Rebecca, you know her, and Meg Bauer is here as a representative from Legal Aid of Western Michigan, if we need to have some advice. This is a claim that you owe rent in the amount of $1,381, which is not as bad as some of your neighbors, plus court costs of $181.80, and they claim that through September you owe $1,662.80. As a defendant in a landlord-tenant proceeding, you have the following legal rights. I believe we already sent this to you in the mail with the packet, but the law requires that I read this also. As a defendant in such a case, you have the following legal rights. You have a right to a trial by a jury or by the court. If the action is for non-payment of rent, which is what this is, and if you are eligible for any assistance from the Department of Health and Human Services or any other agency, you do not need a judgment to receive that assistance. The summons and complaint are sufficient. And one of the goals is to try to prevent a judgment. If the plaintiff is agreeable, the Citizens Mediation Services, Inc. may be available as a possible source of case resolution. If both parties are agreeable to mediation, the court can help set that up. If you do reach an agreement with the plaintiff and a consent judgment is entered by the court, you would waive the rights listed above, but have the following additional rights. The judgment could not be enforced until 3 business days had passed. You could move to set aside the judgment within those 3 days if you misunderstood what you consented to or what you were waiving. Your motion to set aside the judgment would be set for a landlord-tenant hearing. However, if the judge did not rule in your favor, the original judgment would stand. So, Mr. Jarvis, is your girlfriend, Catalina, also living there?
Yes, sir.
What do you say regarding the fact that they believe you owe $1,381 in rent?
Yeah, I owe them. I intend to pay every dollar of it. Basically, my bills went up and my hours went down, and I had a tree fall in my house I had to pay to fix, and I hit a deer I had to pay to fix, and it was just a series of unfortunate events. I actually paid them $1,300, I don't know, a week or two ago. That was the original amount that was on my court paperwork, but since then they've updated it to that $1,382 that they say I owe now. But yeah, I agree. I owe them every dollar, and I intend to pay them every cent.
We'll have time to get this done. That sounds like a country song. My bills went up and my hours went down. I hit a deer and a tree fell on my house. I think somebody could make something out of that.
I wish I could. I might be able to pay my rent.
That's just a title right there. My bills went up and my hours went down. All right. It sounds like you're on top of this. The law requires that I adjourn this for at least 7 days. So we're going to continue this to next Friday, 9/22/23 at 10:30.
I hope to pay them about half of what I owe them by next
Very
Friday.
good. You'll get an additional 10 days from that day to get caught up on the rest of it, which would take us to October 2nd. Now,
Okay.
October 1st, another month's rent is due.
Oh, yeah. I
The
got
court
this plan.
costs- All right. But it sounds like you got a plan. Where do you work?
I work at American Petroleum Inc. It's the corporate office for all those Gallup's gas stations.
All right, sounds like a good job, and it sounds like you want to maintain your tenancy. The fact that you just paid $1,300 is a real good sign. And it sounds like you got a plan to pay the rest of it. We had another Jarvis
Yes.
this morning. Is that your brother?
Yes, sir.
Well, he's got a plan also to get caught up. So let's address this again next Friday at 10:30 in the morning. Are you missing work right now?
Yeah, I'm allowed to go in a little late, so it isn't hurting me at all.
All right, well, you can log in from work if you wish to, but we'll address this next Friday. If you pay all the rent before then, you don't even need to show up. But if you don't, come in here, we'll calculate how much is due, we'll give you the due date. Again, my suggestion is to stay in contact with Rebecca, your manager, and let her know what you intend to do, but it sounds like you has a plan to pay.
Yeah, so my girlfriend just started a job. She's a teacher for the Great Start Readiness Program here in Constantine. I actually just got back from dropping her off at the ISD. So she had to work a month before she get her first paycheck, but she gets paid.
You could have actually stopped right here at the courthouse. You probably drove right past here on the way to
I
ISD.
did. I had that thought, actually.
We'll take anybody live also. All right, you got a handle on this. Stay in contact with Rebecca. I will see you next Friday morning at 10:30 unless you paid all of it.
I appreciate you, Judge. You have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you, sir.